Hello. Today's topic is Indian schools. Are they really trash? And many more things about it. So, let's start with the purpose of schools. Let me let me full screen this PPT. So, purpose of school. In this video, I'm going to talk about Indian schools, purpose of schools, and pros and cons of schools, and my final thoughts. My final thoughts. You can chat your opinions or final thoughts in comments if you watch this video. My sole purpose of making this video is I just want to improve my English speaking skills. This is my sole purpose and my final primary purpose. But secondary purpose behind this video is in today's social media I'm watching lot of videos that Indian schools and schools are very bad. They are trash and many more things. So it's not completely trash. So let's get back to our video. I had some work to do. As you know, I have only not a sole purpose to make this video. So where we was, I think I was at my secondary purpose. So in today's social media, people are making videos how schools are trash and many more things. So first of all, why why I'm capable of saying this all review opinion and many more things about schools, because I study in private and government both structure, in public and private both structure. I studied in government and private. In my first to 10th, I studied in private schools, which is in English medium, and in my government school, which is also English medium. In my government school, 11 to 12th, I study in government school. So I have a both experience how they are good and bad. So let's talk about Indian schools. So let's start with me. When I studied in my first to 10th, I was in English medium. As you know, when I studied in my first to 10th class, we was not taught too much of English. We were just, our teachers were just translators of our books. They just used to translate our books and many more things and try to muck up things upon us. And we just want to score. In private school, most of the, when I used to study in my first and 10th class, I was in English medium as I mentioned before. So teachers were just translators and mug up most of the things in our brain to score good, because because they do not teach us many of English and just mug up many more things about our studies. Do not taught us English or understand in a way that we understand English on our own. They just used to translate our English books and many more things and just try to give us a good marks, so that in numerical data or basically report card or result, our parents will show on it's a good that school is doing good and we are doing good, because they just mug up things and told us to told us to learn things, mug up, remember. As you know about Indian schools, in first to 10, this is all the going. We did not do any physical activity, career development, any exposure to computer or technical things. Basically, in private school, we were just taught to, we were just, we have taught to mug up things and score good. This is all about private school when I used to study in my private school. And and the thing is, I do not belong to very rich family. I belong to lower middle class family. So our school was not that good, as I know, and I was a decent student in my school days. Decent, okay, not good, not bad. I score around 80 to 75 percentages, and when I shifted in government school, it was also we have a two choices to do our course, do our studies in English or Hindi. So, as I mentioned before, my background is English, so I chose English and study and keep studying English because I understand English better than Hindi. So that's why understand and written. So this is why I'm making this video, these types of video because I don't talk. I don't know how to talk in English too much. As you can see, my fumbles and my voice is fumbling too much and my grammatical mistakes in my during when I talk in English. As you can see, uh, so let's get back to our topic and my story. So when I was in 11th and 12th, our teacher just do not teach as good as in our private school. Teaching is about teaching, okay? Teaching our books and many more things. They are also mug-ups, but it's about English. I have a very good English teacher in my 11th, not 12th. 12th, she was changed. She was exchanged by a male teacher. She was a female, so she has a very good English, and she told us how English literature is taught and how it is understand. So from then, I got a very good I got a very good interest in English, and I try to understand what is the story trying to tell us. So in 11th, this is what happened. I got a good English teacher. So and I have a commerce in my 11th. So accounts. Our teacher don't know the accounts and don't know how to teach account. Okay, this is the main problem of accounts. And economics, I love too much. Many more things. Okay, just let's get back to the topic. So my story ends here. I go to 12th and I score 80% in my boards, CBSE boards, and so as in 11th teacher, so it goes as well as 12th. My teacher was the same subject and teacher was the same as 11th. So so what is the purpose of school? So in my private school, my purpose is was just study, no technical exposure, no fun, no physical activity, no career development, nothing. Just study and top and have a good report card or numerical data or have a good numericals. This is what or we taught in private school, but in government school when I changed to government, we have to do everything independently because our teacher was not that good. So I have to self teach myself. I become independent, not in financially, but in teaching or education. I have to become independent. I do not depend on our teacher to come and teach us everything about topic. I used to study on my own and many more things. So this is my story and what let's go to the purpose of school. So purpose of school is our holistic development, career development, personality development, communication development, and critical thinking and physical. Physical is very main thing, and moral values, which is in Indian school we taught us just to get a good reporting card or good results. If you do not get it, you are just a waste. This is what I taught in both government and private, government and private structure both. So in public, in government school, I was my teacher used to say that if you don't study and do not get good marks, you will get a bad job and end up of having a bad career. This is what our government schools teachers used to say. Not this is not the right, but they are saying it. They are saying it. If you do not get a good grade or you do not study well, you will just end up having bad career. Nah, nah, nah. That's not good. Uh, so purpose is to do our personality development. We did not develop any personality. We have to develop our own personality. School do not teach us how to develop personality. Physical in my private, we do not do any physical work. We just in my 12 in my 12, 11 12 government school, we have a big ground which we used to weeks once days in Saturday. Just in Saturdays we have permission to we had a permission to walk in the ground and do any physical stuff like volleyball and tennis, many more things. So this is so physical purpose can be fulfilled if school has a good ground. Okay, and so main thing is application based exposure and moral value. This is what our Indian school do not considers. We don't know what is a moral value, responsibility, cleanliness, honesty, justice, fairness. This is all our Indian school do not teach us. The one thing is common in both school, we have to get a good marks. So from my experience I can say that in schools you have to just good score. They just try to mug up in our Indian school. No practical exposure or no character development, career development. So you can say in Indian school do not fulfill its purpose of its sys- purpose of school. So pros and cons. So pros of school is it gives us our cultural values and cultural things. Okay, so you can from going school you can study about our culture, how our culture works, and our how many things we have in our culture and how diverse our Indian culture. You can also teach in multilingual languages like in Hindi, Sanskrit, and your own birthland or native lands language. So you have basically three to four language: English, Hindi, your Latin language, and Sanskrit. Most of people forget about Sanskrit. So we have a three language mainly. We can speak Hindi, English, and our native language. So we have a language advantage, uh, and communication, which is very good. Social circle, and this is a very good cons of Indian school. Lot of we have a lot of friends due to our lot of population. We have a good social circle, and hmm, You can mention the other pros. What is the cons? Let's talk about the cons and why I have to wrap up this video as soon as possible because it's taking too much time. So let's come to the cons. As I have mentioned first, purpose did not fulfill its whole purpose. So cons is the lack of technical exposure, lack of practical exposure, lack of personality development, lack of moral value, lack of physical development, lack of emotional development. If I goes to cons, cons are too much of our Indian education system, but pros is very less. So you can consider its pros and cons of Indian education system. So let's comes to final thoughts. So my final thoughts is on today's social media, they are saying that drop out school, blah blah blah, many more things. So listen, you can drop out your school, but how can you fulfill the school's pros unless it's cons? This is the main thing. This is the main thing. If you can, if you can, if you can fulfill the pros and less the cons of schools, then you can drop out your school. But I do not suggest you to drop out the school because it's a group activity.